So timestamps should exist in case you want to skip forward. I think I've used this timestamp before though, but I mean, this should be pretty quick here because at this point we should know what we're doing, and if I don't, well, hey, but we're going to be going with intelligence, and I think that's pretty much the loadout. I really should be able to take more than this, but because of the last two runs, because this is the third run in this series, yeah, I did not get as many achievement points as I wanted. So without further ado, there's going to be a lot of autopiloting. Now, is that going to be the best thing to do? Not really, but hopefully we get through this. So, but the last thing to say really quickly, just to get it out of the way, is that this run may involve some RNG, which means I will have to load it maybe, because of the fact that the other two runs I did were not quite stable. So yeah, and by that I mean I didn't get a lot of achievement points. You know what I immediately did that I did not, that I should have done earlier? I should have immediately taken the perk. So immediately I have to load it, and therefore Jordan has to fix the timestamps because it's not going to be correct. So, oh goodness. So yeah, this is what I mean. And that wasn't RNG at all, but just know that, again, that kind of loading, at least the game loads fast. That I can say is part of the game's benefit. One of the game's pluses. Among other things, fully voiced, there is some quality of life. There are other things that might be a little iffy, but I should save it here for the sake of, if I have to load it again, which I really shouldn't need to, then yeah. But what we really want to do here is definitely make sure we take the skills and move on. So just take the intelligence tree pretty much, and we go from there, because that was not the that was the intelligence tree. I'm going the wrong way. Anywho. Take Flame Circle as well, so we have a stronger AoE, but otherwise everything afterward is going to be kind of a bonus once we take the main intelligence class things. Selling for higher items, we don't need to buy anything, so I guess we're gonna find out what I really am going to be happy with. That being said, I don't remember if my affinity matters this run. But I do know, so the first and foremost, I mean, if there's nothing else to take away, getting maximum energy is probably going to be the best. I think there's like one other strategy that's quite reliable as well, if you know what you're doing. But if I were to just give general advice, yeah, it'd be just to go, once you have all the max stats from achievement points, then or taking the biggest boost to your stats with achievement points to get there, and therefore getting skill points. Yeah, let's go for max energy. I personally like taking the 10% activity success rate. It's probably not actually 10%, it's probably 10% of whatever you have, but you get the point. Anywho, otherwise Unbreakable would probably be the next thing, but I guess we'll see. So, I'm going to take the success rate for now. If I'm lucky, I'm lucky. If I'm not, I'm shrugging real life and just staying silent. So, yeah, but this time, this is going to be a magic run, so that's why we took the staff and well, mainly the staff, really. The cat suit and the Starlight Bracelet that it's usually they're often things that I pick anyway at the moment, and if nothing else, it's as much as doesn't matter to me. Now, that could change here and there depending on anything else that I may see, but for the most part, I mean, I'm doing what I do here. I don't know if we can win the dance festival. I guess I could try, because again, yeah, Charisma does share some classes that give you the thingy-majiggy. Now that being said, Beauty, Social, so yeah, we want whatever that stat is, I forgot what the name is, and Manners to help out with the festival. Alternatively, we could go into sensitivity. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that instead. So we are gonna take the beauty magic, but then we're also going to take. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna take it. I lied to myself. Well, yeah, I'll just take something. We'll see if we can do the bread festival in year 1, and if we can't, again, it's not gonna be too much trouble. It's just that. Would be a nice little boost that I don't know if it's gonna matter. So, but probably the most important part of this third run here is going to be maxing the library actions. So, just after unlocking all of these, we're gonna head back to the academy and immediately start working on the library. So, again, to note, if I didn't I think I did mention it last time, but where is it? Key items. Yeah, so Fragment of Succession is basically the variable involved in doing more of the story. So you get your hint is that it's in the Academy's library, which means you just do a lot of library and you go through that, which is why I'm making an intelligence daughter anyway. You can max out 2 locations, but I figure intelligence will help out. I know intelligence does help out. Now, stamina also does help out because you need to battle through things. So it's a really interesting question of what happens when you're running a charisma or sensitivity daughter, I guess. That is something to think about. But as we sit here and wonder what else we do, yeah, because we can't get any more energy. We could talk. I think that'll grant me stress. I don't even remember if I have a thing. So actually, let's talk to Crow instead, as much as that matters. Because we probably want to be talking to like Fran instead, but we're doing it mainly for the stress decrease because we can't family trip yet. Checking the photo album really quickly. Again, it resets at the same. It resets every run, so at least you can keep track of your photo album in case you stop playing Magical Princess and then you just come back later. But anywho, again though, this might be a weird third run, like final run of this series because I'm not going to be going through the story, and the story is probably the larger part of the third run. The second one does have its own story as well, but yeah, you'll see when we get there, and then you can judge for yourself. Again, I'm not trying to force you to think about things a certain way, and if it sounds that way, then I promptly apologize. But otherwise, social manners, yeah. So VRT and manners will help out in the bread festival. Otherwise, I'll probably, if we can't win this bread or whatever happens after the first year bread festival, we'll probably just work on stamina and then skip the bread festival, because the bread festival, if you can't win it, you might as well just toss gold and do things that way. But in the meanwhile, lots of library stuff. Actually, skills, 10% stat boost when activity succeeds, and let's start, yeah, getting a little bit more. Again, it's not much, as you've noticed. And if I didn't mention it in the previous runs for whatever reason, when you're like below pretty much level 3, and especially if it's the basic action, the top action, you're not really getting many stats anyway. So you, theoretically speaking, you can wait a bit on that 10% activity boost. It's just that I want to take it because I know I'm just going to be rushing this really quickly. So, shrug. But yeah, it's unfortunate we can't get an extra point of energy. So instead, as always, pick up Chocola Talks if possible, because she is going to be a primary healer. But otherwise, the third party member, I mean, if you want to just try to be a little bit more efficient, even though it's not that much more efficient, you'll feel a difference every now and then. But I guess I haven't really looked at all the battles in a vacuum yet. But basically, things like, hey, if your daughter does physical damage, brings befriend another magic character. If your daughter is using magic, then bring a physical character like Franz and whatnot. You get the point. That being said, we will talk to Crow really quickly here, just to do so. We don't need to. That's less stress for me, but less stress decrease, but it doesn't really matter. So that being said, it won't take long to get to where we need to be. However, to actually complete the run, we will pretty much go through all 3 years just to play it safe. There's no reason not to, unless I need to kind of roll back loads to basically plan things out better. But whether or not I really need to, again, it's all going to be an RNG. My first run doing my third story run was pretty much RNG, so I mean, all I can do is shrug. That's all I can say for the moment. At least for me. There's probably a definite way to make your third run a lot easier, as we probably don't take third place. But I don't really know. We'll live with this again just to show how casually you can go through Magical Princess and still be relatively okay. That being said, so this probably involves food, right? Because even doing classes and whatnot, I don't even know if a regular C grade in Charisma is enough to win you that. So you probably need to take the Cooking New Game Plus buffs. But I could be wrong. Let's just save over save 2. And move on. So, yeah, at this point, I'm probably just going to focus on stamina classes, really. Oh my goodness. I didn't mean to do that. Well, now I have to load it. Because that's not a great thing. I mean, I will be able to complete all the classes. It's just that if I can help it, doing that would probably not be in my best interest. So, yeah, nothing really much else to say. We gotta do this again. Again, it's probably going to be intelligence classes with stamina classes on the side. So we're going to force all the intelligence classes, just if for no other reason than to get ourselves some damage. If you can't do damage, you're not going to be able to proceed forward pretty much, because there are going to be encounters. I think there's like 2 encounters overall that you need to eventually out damage what is being put out to your face. So, and I think really it's effectively only 1, because most of the other, like 9, every battle but like 1 or 2, you can bring whoever you want. So, shrug. But let's see here. EX skills, so we do, yeah, Starfall is the one we're looking for. Loot Lust is, so, yeah, so really it's a back-ended intelligence EX skill tree, but again, the 5th skill in the EX skill trees are all about the final skill, so I mean, I guess I can't really say much more than that. It's pretty self-evident. So we're going to take in Unbreakable. Nearly mandatory for no other reason than to stop RNG from slapping you hard. When your daughter gets targeted too many times, you will appreciate that Unbreakable. Now, the far side of that, the other going past that might be you proc Unbreakable and then your daughter just ends up taking the hit anyway as we get to the 3rd story. But we're going to continue self-studying. Never mind, we're going to do forbidden research to make our energy look better. But again, we do need to also monster hunt because we need the battle rank up that overall improves your battle capabilities. I don't remember what exactly, but I swear it does. But anywho. So, little lore thing if you ever play Magical Princess on your own, but you can't, once you get these Forbidden Book research research, you can just read them just to get a little bit more backstory. Pause if you want to look at it, but I won't be going through each one. Please get the game yourself, and or maybe someone else does stuff, I don't know. But in any case, I should have been doing the family, well, we can't do the family trip. Never mind, I'm a big liar. Oh, goodness. But we do rest, we can't do anything else. B2 plus the A. Yeah, so we're gonna save the skill points from now on so we can at least get Starfall. That'll allow us to pretty much one-shot everything up to like halfway through the 2nd year. And if not, shrug, right? But anywho. That being said, I should be raising affection here. I don't know why I'm not. Oh, well, let's hope Fran appears in the nighttime. But anywho. Let's actually save it, just to be safe here. I don't know why I'm not saving at the very beginning of the month, but it's fine. But yeah, even with this, I can talk to Fran and probably do something else, but let's focus on the classes here first, and then we will decide. Because even with this, we can do 3 energy cost actions and then 4 energy cost actions. But I do want these to increase because these will be important. So I think, yeah, it's 2. So if I just only chat with Fran, I don't actually want to do that, but I think we do. So that allows me to do self-study. Did I mess up? No, as I can self-study 3 times and then forbidden research once. Because either way, I want to max out the action anyway. I don't think you need to, but I just feel like doing it. So, that being said, I think math is magical defense, and forbidden research grants you the other things. It does not give you math. The particular intelligence stat, which is math directly contributes to your magic defense. And if I'm wrong, well, someone correct me. Because I don't feel like it's wrong though. But anywho. Leah, let's just get these events out of the way. But more importantly, I want to go on the family trip. I feel like... no, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not going to say what I was going to say because I don't know if I'm right. But anywho. Yeah, we just keep moving on. Nothing really much else to do until we can start fighting. And even then, it's not. We're just going to be breezing through things anyway. So, shrug. But Let's continue onward. I think friend is just automatic, right? After a little bit? I don't remember. But anywho, we're just going to rest. We don't need to. Probably shouldn't have, actually, but it's too late, so... On to the next month. Trying to think of anything else I'm forgetting about. But at this point in the video, I mean, maybe you skipped forward, maybe you haven't. But for anyone who's been watching this whole way, again, I'm trying to think of anything else that may be important. I was thinking about making a tips video for Magical Princess, but I think there's not really much else to add. If for no other reason than, again, there is an official guide, and I think I always link it in the description. But there's a guide. I mean, there's not really much else to say about that, along with other people giving pretty good advice anyway. But in case there's anything I forget, I need to do some review and pretty much look back at my notes. I do keep notes of things I do on this channel. So in terms of Magical Princess, it's actually less notes than more links to the actual official guide, and then notes on top of that, but shrug, right? So, we can't just talk to Flan, but I don't think I really get a choice in the issue. In fact, we're gonna talk to... Never mind, I already did. No, we're gonna do the date. So this allows me to do 1 3 energy cost action, and then I can do 2 4 cost energy actions. Again, there's some really basic math stuff, but we're trying to make it so that Fran is a more powerful physical damage dealer. Shrug, that's the end of the sentence. But at the same time, yes, the math there is going to... It doesn't seem like much, but it's quite a lot, I feel. And if it's not, well, again, correct me, because I haven't done the specific math after all of that. So, yeah, not much else to say at the moment. So, we just go rest and just continue onward. Again, this should be a faster run. Minus, any battles that I might run into, but that doesn't mean it'll be easy, because I promise you at the end of this third run, again, if things go badly, it's going to be a very long third run. I mean, probably like another episode or two, or an episode worth of loading. I promise you it can get pretty bad. And it's RNG because of how the targeting system works in this game, which I mean to say it's completely random. So, yeah, the professor here can cast, but our daughter should be just as good at this moment. So she does 1500, we do about 1300, or I mean it's close enough, it doesn't matter. The point is that we're one-shotting everything. In fact, I could probably do Blizzard Zone and get away with this, but it's our HP and defense that are a little lacking. So I mean, is it really that great if we can deal the same amount of damage, but our defense is less okay? Probably not. The answer is no, it's not. But if we sit here in Fire Circle, yeah, we could nearly one-shot it. So hey, fun times. But just getting that tutorial out of the way and a little bit of renown, because I don't think it's possible. Well, theoretically, I think it is possible to lose there, but if you only lose that 10 renown, I don't think it's too much of an issue. I'm trying to think of the renown thresholds in this game. But anywho, which leads me to the topic of actually watching or listening to other people play this game. Listening if I am also working while I'm, working. And let's see here, hold on. Yeah, not really much else. Okay, so yeah, just watching or listening to other people play Magical Princess is an interesting experience, basically. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, and anyway, even if you only do one run or you do the few runs to get all of the story out of the way, I feel like it was fun to do. I could get rid of stress here, but the first thing we're actually going to do is, I think we can monster hunt once here, but with Fran, I should. That's right, I don't have Chocola because whoopsie doopsie, no friends yet. But we should be able to just brute force through this regardless. So flame circle. There goes the bunny. We'll have Fran attack just to attack. But this should just one-shot everything. We should be able to one-shot everything is what I'm trying to say. I think we can also push Zone 2, but I would prefer to have Chocola with us before I do that. So, yeah, not much else to say about that. I want Chocola first. Don't think we need to defend. I think I can even attack here. Never mind, I lied. Ow! uh, but again, just looking at the HP values, yes, my daughter also is physically stronger than Fran at the moment. Flan will have more physical attack and physical defense later on, obviously, but as it is right now, because of the new game plus buffs, yeah, you should be able to just cruise through Zone 1 and possibly Zone 2 without Chocola, or maybe even just by yourself. But I figure if it doesn't hurt too much, I can just move on. Again, we do need to be doing this, so I will be monster hunting and then doing the library. Since we already unlocked Forbidden Research, might as well use it. Now, unfortunately, we're failing a lot of the activity, but it'll fix itself in due time. And yes, pretty much every level up, you're getting a key item. So, yeah, that's all there really is to say about that. And thankfully, our stress didn't go up through the roof, so we're just gonna family trip, and off we go. And now that we have monster hunts and we can just cruise through monster hunts, we should be able to afford every family trip perfectly fine. That being said, we can also just eat these bread rolls perfectly fine. I didn't need to eat 2 of them. We probably could have gotten rid of everything with the night rest, but again, just to show how much leeway you have. Just making sure. I know I talked to Fran in the daytime, but yeah, just making sure that nothing weird happens, like a character appears in the day and in the night. That shouldn't happen, but anywho. So, hey, isn't that the kind of spray delinquents will use? Unfortunately, yeah, I won't need the charm, but shrug, right? So, that's not saving. We save over our 3rd slot, move on, talk. Sorry, I forgot to talk first. And then get through our classes. I think we're almost complete with the intelligence classes already, funny enough. It's going to take a lot of 3 class stacking, but I think we're almost done. And yeah, basically Forbidden Research will carry us through the rest of our intelligence, reaching S+. Fran is here again. Actually, we can't. Yeah, we can't. We might as well just bring Croa with us, but then we take Zone 2. Yeah, I think the game, so some dev mine at work as we kind of cruise through Zone 2. The game does calculate basically the items you have on. How do I know this? Because I tried replacing an item thinking it was an upgrade on my first save, and the rating that it predicted that I would perform, it would predict my predicted performance went down a sign basically. So again, interesting to note that. Looking at the monster hunts, probably again. Maybe everything, a really simple version is like everything is assigned a value, whether it's your daughter's stats, the NPCs are bringing with you, the items that your daughter has equipped, and then that if that rating reaches a certain threshold, then the game gives you gives you a prediction based on that, whether you can succeed, whether you can't succeed, so on and so forth. Stop! There might be, it's more likely a very more sophisticated system than that, but that's just one example of how you would make basically a prediction rating. So whether you're predicting a character's performance when you're sending them out to do something in the fantasy game, or you're predicting the chances of success when you are not arbitrarily trying to tell the player how a character will perform doing said action, like in a sci-fi game, maybe something along the lines of, scouting a planet, mining an asteroid, something along those lines. I know that's odd to talk about, but we're really just autopiloting through this portion right now. In fact, 83 damage knocked that down. So, yeah, I was really autopiloting when I made the magic-based daughter do a physical attack. But yeah, back to the academy we go. So the alternative to this is actually talking to Fran here and then doing the 3 energy action. But if the activities allow, we should be able to handle... if the activities allow, then Fran's affection will increase through activities as well. Just enough that I can make things work. Now, at this point, so here's the meat of basically a Forbidden Archive run. I don't know what we want to call the ending. But entering the Silver Glass Labyrinth, I mean, just doing this right now, you have 1 attempt. So that's why you have to save and load, or you have to load, because you only get 1 attempt to do things. And if you fail, it goes bye-bye and you can't do things anymore. It does also just end the run when you complete it, but depending on your stats, you're probably not going to be able to do it, and because you can't push your stats any higher, than what New Game Plus allows, then you're probably doing it at the end of your 3rd year anyway. So, yeah, not much else to say. I will mention it again in the next episodes because it's something to keep in mind as we move forward here. But as we go through the birthday, I'm going to take actually stamina instead just to try and speed this up. But if we reach, once we reach, wait, actually, are we going to? No, I think we can. So I'm going to try to reach the 2nd year here. There is going to be a Crimson Moon, so... But because we're so powerful, I was going to say so, but actually we're so powerful, we should be able to just breeze through most of this, like even the Academy Festival here. Unfortunately, we did not get any support from anyone, but that's fine. And yeah, so us sitting here just casting magic, cast Flame Circle, and then just knock these enemies down. This is the first time I'm showing you in video format the magic a portion of the festival, but it's basically just using spells to AoE everything down. Now, funny enough, I think you mainly want to be using Flame Circle regardless. I don't remember if Starfall is resisted, but if you can Starfall, you're on such a cooldown anyway that it feels like it doesn't matter. I think Starfall is still somewhat efficient here, but Flame Circle works just as well. Now, note that I say that as our daughter is taking hits to the face, but again, in case really bad things happen, that's why we would like to have Unbreakable. And unfortunately, I did not hit the tomato that is in front of our face. But Catsuit. Even though the Catsuit doesn't increase our defense at all, I believe. I think it does mainly support things. That being said, it's important support stats, so shrug, right? But as we move on to June, we're going to use that item really quickly here. No reason to sit on it. And we should get our EX tree as well. So, talk to the daughter and move on. Keeping in mind we have a family trip, I pretty much want to take that immediately because oftentimes, funny enough, I do forget to go on the family trip and then I just lose that for the run. So, if nothing else, stress decrease, but you do want to go on every family trip to unlock achievement points, I believe. So, as we get our intelligence EX skills, and then we just unlock everything up to Starfall. Yeah, we're going to continue onward, and this is pretty much, the rest of this run is going to be normal until we enter the labyrinth, the Silver Glass Labyrinth. Shrug! So first and foremost, we go into battle here. I'm going to try pushing Zone 3, just to see how much I can push it. I've never done this before. I feel like there's a problem why you cannot do this. But because we have Starfall, I want to see if I can just Starfall through this, and we'll see what happens. Now, keep in mind, we don't have Chocola, so no healing, basically. And that's usually not good, but if I can just DPS everything down, that would be great. Unfortunately, we're taking 400 a pop, so whoops. I probably should just put Toas in the back line here, though, but it's a little too late. We will still get something as long as we win 1 or 2 of these fights, preferably 2. But when we reach the boss, it is going to be a little iffy. So, yeah, already this is looking a bit iffy. If I attack, yeah, it's not going to grant me much. So, I'm going to use Starfall and see what happens. Can you heal? No, you cannot. So we'll have you use Fire Circle. But Croa needs to... we need to not get hit by any of these. Unfortunately, Flan also does not do enough damage to... yeah, and Starfall does get resisted here, so that's not good to see. Which is why you just want to be casting Flame Circle or Fire Circle, depending on what you have. Would like to get through this. It's my fault for using Starfall, but I just wanted to kind of show what happens when you use that against an encounter like this. Anywho, over to the boss we go. I don't think a Starfall one-shots this. And we actually need to, take 1 hit. And right before Fran goes down, which is probably in the next hit. So just to be safe, we have a heal, but the staff we're using lowers all of our light magic, which includes our heal, which is why I'm not casting heal. I think we heal literally less than 100, if even that. So, Wind Shear was pretty much useless. Oh, I should have just attacked with Flan. Yeah, Flan does more damage just doing whatever, but I have to use Fire Circle. Maybe we're fast enough. Please don't hit the daughter. Okay, Crow actually dodged. So hey, we did pass Zone 3. And now we can just auto Zone 3, and that's perfectly fine. As long as you beat a zone for the first time in a run, you can just auto it, which is very nice. So basically just getting a bit more value out of this. Flan appears in the night, so that's good to see. That way I can get her affection up. As for Chocola, rip, I guess. Which isn't a problem for anyone wondering, kind of like pre-spoilers, even though at this point, if you're watching and or listening to this video, you probably already expected the spoilers. But just in case, like, if you want to care about it, the next 20 seconds. So, next 20 seconds, and then you can come back. But otherwise, so in the Silverglass Labyrinth, your normal party members can't come with you. Shrug, that's all I have to say. So, spoilers over. But yeah, it is a bit of a problem at times. You know what, we're just gonna max out the EX skill tree because why not? But I think, oh wait, no, we have to keep making flour and we're not getting any more flour, so whoops. My cooking level, but yeah, not really much else to say there. The Silverglass Labyrinth, you'll see it probably in episode 3 if nothing else, because episode 2 will probably be about episode 2 will probably encompass year 2, in which I am still going to be increasing stats. Now, there is something to note about that. The second year obviously has its Bread Festival and Academy Festival. More importantly, the Bread Festival. So, yeah, not really much else to say. Just to show how easy it will be on your third run onwards. And if it's not, well, maybe you can take something away from this. Maybe I help someone out. But otherwise, as we approach our second year, not quite yet, but we're getting there soon. I want to at least do that for this video, if for no other reason than to make this series a lot faster for you. So, yeah, let's complete this off. Again, there's nothing else happening. We already did the Academy Festival and the Bread Festival, so really it's a matter of whether or not you can actually push Zone 4, which I don't think is actually possible. With the build I'm running. I don't doubt that maybe there's some other way to do it, especially if you're getting affection up with Chocola, but if you don't have Chocola like what I'm doing on accident, then shrug, right? Now that being said, actually I can do this really quickly here, so you know what? We'll chat and hopefully we can get a friend. Shrug, that's the end of the sentence. That way we can start training, training Chocola, because again, you can at least get affection if nothing else. But otherwise, the extra money from this is also not bad. It's just that, as you can see here, until our intelligence reaches S+ at the bare minimum, I won't really be going somewhere else. I could, actually, we have 3 energy to spare, so you know what? Let's actually go. Please let this be a Chocola event. Okay, good. So now we can bring Chocola with us into battles. Is Flan available somewhere? No. So, what is the other one? We're looking for probably training grounds, really. Yeah, training grounds. So, we're going to increase our stamina and increase our intelligence for this run. Intelligence obviously being the main stat, but stamina is going to be a nice second. If I cared about the Bread Festival, I would do Charisma or Sensitivity, but because I want to do the Silverglass Labyrinth a lot more reliably, I am taking the... I'm going to be increasing stamina. End of story. So with this, notably with this stress here, you'll notice that I'm not eating bread, which is a primary way to decrease stress. The reason I'm not doing that is because whether through affinity dates that decrease stress on their own, I didn't mean to answer that way, or through just the mainly it's going to be mainly through the family trips that I am decreasing the stress enough so that we don't have to do anything else, pretty much. That's the end of the sentence. That's all there is to it. Now, granted, again, this comes at the start of the third run, in which you have a lot of skill points, in which you will get stress decreasing things like stress relief. I'm sure there are other ones. You get the point. You'll have a lot of passives to deal with the ongoing stress, as opposed to your first or even second run, if you don't do things a bit more efficiently. So yeah, already we've completed the thingamajiggy, so whoopsie doopsie, I actually want to get stamina classes complete. And I forgot what I was going to say. Basically, yeah, just trust me when I say you won't really need to worry about stress, because at a certain point you're just going to be able to do family trips, and that should hold enough. Now, obviously, if you don't take other things, like as you can see right here, I'm already going a bit high on stress. You probably will need to eat bread or something at some point, but because I'm feeling a bit more confident here, we're just going to walk forward, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, and because the only other effect at 50% stress, maybe there's another effect, but you get the point. I'm not worrying about stress so much. That's the bottom line. So if we can get to the family trip, I wonder if I will need to decrease. No, I shouldn't need to decrease stress here. It should be manageable. Now, that being said, the last month, Fran was available during the night, so we effectively didn't heal as much stress. But still, the fact that stress is going down does help out, even if you're talking to NPCs. Oh, that's right, we have to protect the city this time. So this is our first Crimson Moon, right before the start of our second year. But yeah, not really much else to say here. We do hard, and we should be able to just go on and be perfectly fine. Extra affinity is nice, because again, even though we won't be taking these characters with us to the end of this run, the affection increase will make things a lot easier for us. I probably didn't even need to wind shear there, but it's fine. So, yeah, and all Chocola needs to do is just sit there in prayer. I'm shrugging, that's the end of the sentence. But yeah, if nothing else, I hope that people enjoy Magical Princess, whether through me or just by themselves. I do recommend you get it yourself, because it's I do think it's a pretty good game to, at least if you've never played a family or daughter or son raising game before, then I think Magical Princess is a pretty good way to start, because of what it introduces to you and gets you in the mood to, maybe if you want to try more video games of the genre, because funny enough, I don't think it's quite as complicated as the other ones I'm thinking of, or just the flagship one I'm thinking of. Also, I am autopiloting a bit. I just had the magic-based daughter attack with a physical attack. But yeah, again, it's not too complicated. The battle system is quite simple to understand. That being said, there are, more than a few daughter-raising simulators they're pretty much auto-battlers in a sense, but that doesn't mean that their battle systems are simple, sorry. They're actually quite complex, from what I understand. And if for no other reason than the player doesn't have a lot of data as to what they should be doing to help their daughter win a battle, basically. Let me repeat that, actually, so that it makes more sense. So, I think more than a few daughter-raising video games, or just, raising games or training games, are not good at describing what contributes to battle systems, basically, as opposed to Magical Princess, where, yes, there are a bunch of stats, but for the most part, it's not as much, since there aren't as many stats, even though, 16 is quite a lot. You just look at intelligence, and you look at the description, and then there's an official guide that tells you, what you need to know on screen, as opposed to other ones where, to some extent, it's part of the medium, I suppose. What I mean by that is that some raising games are older, so they come probably with a booklet, or probably with a strategy guide that tells you, what to do certain things correctly. That's all I'm trying to say at this moment. Whereas Magical Princess is a more modern game, where, they have the luxury to put things in buttons and you can click them and it's like, hey, this is what this does. This is what this does. Now, not everything is explained, but I don't expect really any video game to really do that without adding something supplementary. Shrug, that's the end of the sentence. But yeah, we're in year 2. I should have ended the video here. We'll just get through this month. I'm already going through it, so shrug. Fran is here, but let's monster hunt first. And yeah, we'll need our battle rank to increase, probably to like A at a minimum. Maybe A- if we want to be a little bit frisky, but otherwise, that's not the item I want to use. Yeah, we'll wait until our battle rank hits A before we look, and basically just look at the symbol and see if we are ready to take on Zone 4. And I should be able to do Zone 5, but that might take some loading as well, funny enough. So, off we go. Yeah, we talked to Fran here. We might as well. We're here already. But I'm only going to chat because I want to be able to do the Forbidden Research and the Training Grounds actions for this month. And as you can see, our intelligence will certainly hit S plus before probably even half of year 2. But it's all about getting our stats ready to do the Silverglass Labyrinth. I always forget the name. But anywho, yeah, not really much else to mention. What we see is what we get. We'll take the stamina classes so we can complete those. Otherwise, not really much else here. Let's see. +1 affinity when going on date. Why not? Just in case. But I probably didn't need that. But yeah, it's too late. Just do whatever. Rest here. Rest again. So we get like, yeah, -21, -1821 stress. Story events. Unless we don't because of this, but otherwise, sleep, and off we go. So yeah, without further ado, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms, corrections to any misinformation that I said, yeah, feel free to say so. Otherwise, not really much else to mention here. I will see you in the next episode, and probably the 3rd episode is when the saving and reloading will most likely start. I say probably, it'll be most likely. I'm working on the skin of my teeth here. And if nothing else, because cooking actually grants quite a few stats, if for no other point than the early game. Yeah, dog, it increases stats. But yeah, without further ado, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!